Hey guys, welcome back to Team Time. It's great to have you guys back. This week we have a special guest who's going to be giving us a video online, so you guys will be watching us that here in a second. He sent it to us, and so we're going to run it through the lines, and you guys will be able to watch it. He's from FGCU, a college close to around here where we're trying to start base at, and so I think he's a soccer captain, is what I've heard, and so he's going to bring you a really good message, and hopefully he'll speak to you guys' hearts. And so pay attention. Thank you.
My name is Ethan Dudley. I play college soccer right now at Florida Gulf Coast University. And in high school, I played soccer, I played football, and then I played basketball just for 1 year. And the thing that the encouraging word or like idea or topic that God has like presented to me in my life is I would just say like the discipline, but not just discipline in fact of studying God and stuff like that, but discipline just in life in general and persistence and consistency in what you do. So basically me growing up, young as a kid or whatever, I was baptized Catholic. But when I was young, I didn't really go to church too much. I would maybe honestly go 3 or 4 times a year just with my dad, just at the church, the Catholic church near us here. And I wasn't really super deep in God's word. I believe in God, believe Jesus died on the cross for us, everything like that. But I didn't have like a true understanding or grasp, and I never really, was super deep into understanding that, and really getting as deep as I could have. I never had confirmation or anything like that. Only baptized and only vaguely into the word and different things like that. So once I got into high school, all that began to change, and that was through the FCA with my high school football team at Bartram Trail High School. It's in Jacksonville area of Florida, and I had a coach, Daryl Sutherland, actually, who's probably still to this day probably the best coach that I've ever had. And everything he did and revolved in sports, despite everything going on today and things like that with all this like religious pushback and things like that. He made it, after we would have practice, we would pray. Before we would eat, we would pray, and he would share devotionals and different lessons like that before games, talking about stories in the Bible and things that Jesus did for us. So he made my my mind kind of open up more to the Word and to Jesus and God, and what they've done for us and everything like that. So I really started to get more into it, and I started to read the Bible a little bit more, study more things like that. Read the history of how everything's come about, and the FCA at my high schools and my football coach and the team we had has really been a big part of that, and the discipline and the persistence, the consistency that my coach had with sharing things like that is what really got me into the Word. So I would just encourage, I guess, you guys as young athletes, as young students, wherever you're at right now, just be consistent, devote a little bit of time. I try to devote 10, 15 minutes a day. I have like a little devotional book I'll read, learn a little lesson, and then read a small part of the Bible and try to do some research on that. So it's just consistency to try to form a relationship with God, which is something me personally I can definitely improve on, and I'm still not as familiar as I would like to be. But the FCA organization through my high school and then now through college, working with my other friends at FGCU, has really strengthened that. So the consistency of that in high school is what has set me up for my future, and hopefully as I continue to grow in my faith and different things like that. So I might be of a different perspective of a lot of people, but I wasn't grown up just raised going to church every weekend, different things like that. But it's something that's it's grown of importance to me as time goes on, and actually I've been. It's not ironic. It's it's a consistent, like, it makes sense to me that the more success that I've had in life has been with me seeking God more, with me trying to explore the Word more and things like that. So in high school, I went into high school not knowing too much, just having the vague idea, not understanding a lot of the scriptures and things like that. And as I grew in my faith and I grew in my strength with my team in high school football. That's, when we had more success. We went on to be, the state runner-up that year. We played against Cartersville. They had Trevor Lawrence. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who that is. We played against them on ESPN. We lost like 52-45. A lot of myself, my friends, everyone's enduring the success, getting a lot of publicity and offers and stuff, but it's important when these things happen to stay humble and to keep pushing and to, have that mental capacity to understand that the reason you're getting these places is because God's providing you the opportunity to do so. It's not because, it's not just happening randomly. It's happening because of, the work you're putting in, so that can correlate into the work you put in the classroom, the work you put in, on the field or the court or whatever sport you guys are playing, and, the work you're putting in your faith with the Lord. So the stronger your faith gets, I think the more progress you can make in life. And that's what happened with me in high school. I was able to, get a scholarship to Florida Gulf Coast to play soccer, which is, I played club soccer growing up, and that was always what I was going to try to do in college just because it's what I excelled at. And again, when I got to college, not everything is as, religious and like homegrown, and you're not, it's a new area and like a new experience. So, I again struggled with my faith, and, mentally I'd say I struggled a little bit my freshman and sophomore year. Didn't play as much as I want to, do all these different things. And then junior year, which was the most recent year, I joined FCA, or I found out about FCA. They brought it to Florida Gulf Coast, and I got into that through one of my good friends at the school. His name's Justice. He plays on the basketball team, and he's someone who would help going into my junior year, just with my faith in general, just guide me to understanding the Lord a little bit more as I'd become more lost and different things like that. So he's also gotten me back into FCA. We had all these meetings. We were discussing our relationship with God, our ideas, what we think, and different things like that. And that also helped me really grow. And again, because of the discipline, the growth, success came with that. And that's, I think it's very interesting with how that works. There's a lot of different instances in my life where I can think of when there's that small breaking point, and then you turn to God, and then things begin to heal. So I was very fortunate this year. Had a lot of success, played every game, and, I made sure to keep consistent in prayer, and, continue to try to pursue, to read my devotional, study the Bible, and turn to God, and, talk to God. And when there were things I was, upset with or disappointed with, just kind of ask Him to guide me, not beg and say, oh, please do it, please help me with this. Just, God, continue to watch over me, continue to put me on the right path, help my mind stay strong and help me stay consistent. So it all comes back to just the consistency in what you do. And when there's that inconsistency, that little bit of lacking, is when I, tend to think that I would kind of fall off, in my discipline in life in general. So I think if you keep the discipline with the Lord, then the rest of, your habits that you shape in life form from that. So, it's something that's extremely important and that's extremely valuable as you grow as like a young man or woman. And, as you make these jumps and this progress into your life as you grow. And I think every situation I've made progress with has been because of, Jesus Christ, because of God, because of how these things have impacted me, and, how I've continued to push. I've had moments where I've had, I've had a lapse with God, and, I had one of my very close friends from high school pass away. Then I come back into touch with God. I understand these things. I understand the situation. I understand why things happen. My faith, re-strengthens, and I continue to push. But he's a cornerstone that you can lean on in all aspects of your life. And if you stay disciplined, you stay focused, and you have a good understanding of your commitment and what it should look like with the Lord, you're only going to have success in life. You're only going to go further. And I think the Lord understands. There's going to be times where you kind of slip up, and when you're not as focused as you should be, which is, it's been basically the story of my life, which has been full of inconsistencies. But when you do find those little moments where you really reach out to him and, try to explore the word and be, extremely driven, and, you self-consciously make the effort to explore the word. I think that's where you're going to find the most success and the most growth as a person is going to be through your relationship with Jesus Christ. And, it's something that I'm still working on to this day, but, the more I do it, the stronger I feel, the better I am mentally, and the more progress that I make in life. So I'll just encourage you guys, just, try to be as consistent as possible, because looking back on it, that's something that I would definitely make an effort to do, and it's only going to, give you strength and progress moving forward. But I hope you guys are all doing good. Yeah, baby. All right.